Deep in the Hurrian and Semitic landscapes of ancient Syria, around 1500 BCE, scribes recorded treaties using highly specific vocabulary that did not belong to their native languages. This cuneiform text invoked foreign deities. Translated, we find the exact names of Vedic gods, Mitra and Varuna, alongside precise Old Indic terms for horse training. But the Indian subcontinent, where the Rig Veda was composed, sits over 2,000 miles away from the Levant. Historical models often treat early civilizations as isolated, regional developments. The linguistic evidence points to a vast, highly porous Eurasian knowledge network. We can trace the strict causal chain that built this network, starting from the first agrarian surpluses to the rise of massive temple states. These centralized economies required heavy administration, forcing the invention of writing and applied geometry, which spread along established trade routes. Tracing the path of these administrative tools identifies the mechanisms that built global bureaucracy and proto-science. To find the starting point, we look at the Fertile Crescent. Its ecological stability and alluvial plains provided a reliable environment for early human settlement. Around 11,000 years ago, communities at sites like Tel Karasa began the deliberate domestication of wild cereals, marking the transition to sedentary agriculture. Farming produced a caloric surplus. Because grain requires storage, defense, and distribution, communities needed a centralized authority to manage it and prevent collapse. During the Ubaid and Uruk periods, authority centralized in the temple state. Administrative hubs formed and architecture scaled up alongside the population. The temple functioned as the primary economic institution. Priests and administrators tracked the harvest, redistributed food rations, and organized specialized labor for public works. Controlling the food supply allowed this priestly class to reorganize relatively egalitarian villages into highly stratified societies. Here we see the Warka vase, a carved alabaster vessel from Uruk. It explicitly maps this new social hierarchy. Agricultural yields move upward from water and crops through laborers directly to a divine figure or elite ruler at the top. Driven by this centralized resource management, temple complexes expanded physically into sprawling urban centers, housing tens of thousands of people. As populations scaled, the sheer volume of grain, livestock, and labor passing through the temple gates reached a critical threshold. A single administrator could no longer commit the state's inventory to memory. Religious authority and economic power were indistinguishable, and together they formed an administrative engine that forced the next major technological leap. The temple economy faced an acute data storage crisis.